Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of The Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I'm, as always, your host, AR, the Ohio Patriot. And for today's episode, among other things, we're going to talk about Florida General Assembly passing permitless carry and getting it to Desantis' desk, and potentially Florida becoming the 26th, quote-unquote, permitless carry state, because it's not actual constitutional carry like many are, like Ohio became on June 13th of 2022, and the day that the Ohio Patriot Education Network was launched by me. Before that, we were also known as Ohioans for Firearms Freedom, which we still go by on occasion here and there. That's still one of our sister orgs at this point that I'm still in control of. And whenever we're doing actual gun stuff, we usually go under the OFFF moniker. And it's not until we actually do like firearms education and stuff like that, and you know, constitutional courses and things like that, that we actually use the Ohio Patriot Education Network moniker is what it is. So, anyway, if I was to go down to the Ohio State House and actually testify in favor of any 2A rights bills or anything like that, the 60% rule, whatever it is, I would actually use both organizations at that point. I'd be like, I'm the founder of Ohio Patriot Education Network and the founder of Ohio's Firearms Freedom. Basically go from there is what it would be then. And the thing is, I want to point something out right now, and this is something I talked about a few months ago right now, because this is one of the stories we're going to talk about here in a little bit, is apparently Buckeye Firearms is trying to take credit for being the first 2A org in the state of Ohio to come out against the current bullshit with out-of-state interests trying to change our state constitution. They are not. I was, motherfuckers. I called that shit out at least 2 months ago on this channel, and I basically said then, I said, how long is it going to be with this abortion shit until these motherfuckers with either Moms Demand Action or Everytown or Giffords or Students Demand Action, whatever the fuck the case be, one of these anti-gun orgs comes out and tries to change Article 1, Section 4 of the Ohio Constitution that grants and guarantees us our right to keep and bear arms in the state. So, yeah, I guarantee it's going to happen. And that's exactly why Buckeye Firearms is not getting on it. So we're going to talk about that article here in a little bit, is what it is. But before we do that, I'm going to talk about Florida, obviously, for a minute here. So you had both sides of the Florida General Assembly today, both the House and the Senate, pass permitless carry through their General Assembly there. As far as I'm aware right now, it is currently sitting on Ron DeSantis' desk waiting for a signature. So most likely, Florida will be the 26th constitutional carry state, technically speaking, or at least permitless carry anyways, what we'll actually be calling it at this point, because it's not really constitutional carry. It's basically permitless carry. It's very similar to what I believe it was either, I want to say North Dakota was the other one that redid theirs this year or something. It was one of the Dakotas, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Or it was Wyoming, one of the two. That redid their carry permits and stuff like that. Or their carry permitting system, I should say, is what it is. Because what they had previous is basically what Florida's enacting right now, which is an in-state resident kind of permitless carry kind of thing. Whereas if you go to Florida, like if I as an Ohioan went to Florida and stuff like that for vacation, I would still have to have an actual CCW on me to be able to carry concealed in the state of Florida, even with Florida's permitless carry bill in place right now as legislation and law at that point, which is absolute bullshit, by the way. It is complete and total horseshit. And it needs to be straight constitutional carry, even for out-of-state residents at that point, dude. So, anyway, hopefully we'll see a bunch of people in the next election cycle here, which will be about a year from now, primary out a bunch of motherfuckers that are anti-gunners from the Florida General Assembly, and a bunch of scumbags who try to water down this bill and stuff like that, and remove these people from office, take their jobs in primaries and stuff like that. And then eventually, those people, those new set of people, those actual 2A rights people at that point, will hopefully be the ones that pass actual constitutional carry in Florida next year, so it will be then in the 2024-2025 General Assembly. Or I should say, not wouldn't be 2024. It would be the 2025-2026 General Assembly, because it would actually be them winning in 2024 and them getting installed as new state reps, state senators, etc. in January of 2025 then. So, yeah, it'd be the 2025-2026 General Assembly then. But anyway, that being said, it's one step closer to something better is what it is, dude, for Florida. And it's awesome to see it finally get something here. Like I said, it'll be interesting to see if DeSantis actually signs or not. He said he would, so it'll be interesting to see if he actually does or not. But other than that, for 27 potentially, or possibly even 28 for that matter, we have two other states right now who are basically fighting for the monikers of 27 and 28, respectively, which would be Nebraska and South Carolina. So from my understanding currently, this is stuff that I've been, paying attention to and stuff like that and just keeping up to date and whatnot. You have Nebraska as of the last couple of days here. Like I think this is right around the time that massacre happened there in Nashville the other day. It was either that day or it was like the previous Friday or something. They had gotten through their second round of hearings and stuff like that because with the Nebraska legislature being I think it's called like unicameral or something like that, where it's basically you have your state house and your state senate, but they're all in like one chamber together, and you have like multiple votings and stuff like that, which is so fucking retarded, is what it is, dude. But basically, it has to go through like 3 rounds of voting. It's gotten through 2 right now. It's waiting for the third one, and as far as I'm aware, if it gets past that third hearing, it will go to the governor's desk then. So potentially, Nebraska could be the next one if they get through that third hearing as 27. And then the flip side of things, you have South Carolina, which would have a which would have a constitutional carry / Second Amendment Preservation Act being put in place at that point when theirs passes. That right now, as far as I'm aware, has passed their House and is currently sitting in their state Senate, and nobody is taking it up for anything at this point, whether it be hearings or anything else like that. So basically, it has to go through every kind of hearing that you would need. So it'd be proponent, opponent, interested party kind of testimony, probably. So I'm guessing it's similar to Ohio is what it is when it comes to that stuff. So it'd either be you'd have like 3 hearings on those 3 things, or it would be multiple hearings, but you would have to have like one of them be for all those people that I mentioned before, where it's people that are for it, people that are against it, and other people that are just like, I don't really have an opinion, but like I just kind of want to be heard is what it is. For the interested party people is what it is. And so that would be at least 1 hearing for all that stuff. Then you would have the introduction of the bill into the state Senate there for that committee that's going to go to or whatever. And you would also have the third hearing then potentially for it to actually be passed out of committee into an actual Senate floor vote. Then is what it would be then. So it'd have to go through all that stuff, get to that Senate floor vote, and then eventually get to McMaster's desk. And he's already said he's guaranteeing to sign it, dude. He basically told him straight up, he's like, get this shit to my fucking desk so I can sign it already. So yeah, Henry McMaster wants to sign that bill, dude. It's just a matter of time before the actual South Carolina State Senate gets it to his damn desk, is what it is right now. And hopefully they're smart like Florida did here, because this thing, they were trying to fight Florida for 26, dude. So I would think, honestly, with Florida passing theirs here today and stuff, I could easily see the state Senate there in South Carolina tomorrow or Monday, or even doing a Saturday session potentially, maybe even, because it'd probably be tomorrow, actually, because tomorrow's Friday, obviously. It'd probably be them just doing a real quick session or something like that and just jamming it through real fast and just doing like all kinds of stuff and being like, okay, cool. We're just going to yank this up to a floor vote. We're done. Okay, good. Here's Master's desk now. Sign it over the weekend, buddy. And there you go. So, yeah, I could easily see them pulling that shit or something. Although that being said, I could easily see it being a thing where it's basically they schedule something for tomorrow for a committee hearing, and then it's like Monday, and then like Tuesday or Wednesday maybe of next week. And then from there, it would be, floor vote next Thursday, maybe. And then eventually it would be, come next Friday or something. So it'd be like the first week of April. It would be on McMaster's desk ready to sign then. So it all depends, man. It depends on how quick any kind of representative, any kind of state senator, etc., wants to actually do their fucking job, is what it is in these states and stuff, which unfortunately, when it comes to a lot of things in this country anymore, there's a lot of lazy motherfuckers in general assemblies, dude. And it doesn't help that you had insurrectionists legitimately in the Tennessee General Assembly today trying to do a bunch of shit and shout down people and demand gun rights and all kinds of crap like that, or demand gun control and stuff like that of people's gun rights and stuff. And then on top of that, you also had, I believe it was either yesterday or sometime today as well, a bunch of other insurrectionists in the Kentucky General Assembly in their state house doing all kinds of insurrectionist shit, dude, and rightfully being arrested for that stuff. Unfortunately, the Tennessee one, it was like hundreds of people, and there's only a couple cops in there is what it is. But yeah, it should have been, honestly, there should have been an unlawful assembly declared in the Tennessee General Assembly today. And there should have been a fuck ton of people arrested, starting with the 3 Democrats that try to take over the House chambers there and have them removed from office based on that shit alone is what it is, dude. Because enough is enough with this crap, honestly. And like I said the other day, man, which was either Tuesday or Wednesday, I forget which one it was. I believe, truthfully, at this point in history, we are in the early stages of the Second American Civil War right now, dude. I believe that this shit in Nashville, this massacre in Nashville, was the first spark to it right now. I believe that was the spark that lit the fucking candle, is what it is, dude. And I think it's only a matter of time before more shit happens now. Now, thankfully, what we have seen is we've seen the Antifa douchebags that are behind the thing at SCOTUS this weekend have since canceled their thing and been like, oh, we're canceling this because right-wingers are falsely trying to blame us for this stuff and making up fucking lies about it being some transgender person. It's like, bullshit, it was lies. It was 100% a transgender person that walked in there and fucking killed a bunch of kids, dude. It was a hate crime against Christians that was committed there, and it was also domestic terrorism on top of that. So fuck y'all, man. Fuck every single one of you Antifa terrorist pieces of shit is what it is, dude. You fucking scumbags. So, anyway, and then, of course, you had Trump indicted yesterday, and that jerk-off Casey Weinstein, who was the hate hoaxer that hate hoaxed himself a month after I was federally swatted, who never actually caught any charges for that, or never even got a fucking FBI knock the way I did, even though he used the USPS to actually throw a bunch of memes into his own fucking mailbox, and then fake like, oh my god, somebody's sending me tyrant memes while I'm trying to ban magazine capacity in the state of Ohio in 2019. That's what that fucker did, by the way. He was trying to ban mags above 10 rounds in the state, and then to make it look as if somebody was targeting him, he printed a bunch of fucking memes off talking about killing tyrants and threw them in his own mailbox. And was never federally indicted for that shit, dude. Was never even investigated for that shit. And then wants to sit here and talk shit about law and order, dude. You know what, Casey Weinstein? Go fuck yourself, you fucking cunt. You are the worst piece of shit ever. And I swear to fucking God, if the General Assembly does not fucking remove your ass this year, I'm going to make 100% sure that your hate hoaxing shit, dude, comes out next year and you are removed in 2024. Enough is enough allowing this fucking ass clown to be in our General Assembly anymore, dude. You want to talk about shit that Larry Household did, the $60 million bribery scheme, dude? Hate hoaxing yourself is the worst thing ever when it comes to shit, because all it does is lead to falsified charges against other people, dude. And what Weinstein did is 100% on the same fucking level as Householder, dude. And by the way, Casey Weinstein voted for Larry Householder for Speaker of the House a few years back, dude. And then wants to sit there and bitch and moan about, like, I voted against HB 6. Yeah, you did. But you know who voted for it, dude? A whole bunch of your fucking Democrat buddies, including current mayoral candidate for Canton, Thomas West, and Catherine Ingram, who's not in our state senate, as well as Tavi Golonsky, who's a known fucking BLM terrorist, who has ties to BLM terrorism, dude, who's also a current state rep currently. And it's like, why the fuck are Democrats left the hook in this country and the state, dude? For every single thing that they do. Yet if you're even right of center, knock, 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 oh, you said some stuff that could be construed as threats. Now we're going to try to fuck with your life for a bunch of weeks and months after it. Which is what happened to me, dude. Exactly what happened to me. And it's all a bunch of bullshit. When they fucking admit to me that it was a waste of time for them to come out here, dude, yet they could have been spending that same 6 fucking days investigating Casey Weinstein's bitch ass a month later for the shit he pulled. But nope, not a fucking peep, dude. Nothing. It's fucking bullshit, dude. Or in the same vein of things, in May of 2021, almost 2 years ago now, when Allison Russo took a fat fucking envelope full of cash from Moms Main Action at the Ohio State House on camera during a House Oversight Committee hearing for constitutional carry, and yet no investigations are open there, dude. Because again, Democrats can get away with all kinds of crimes and have nothing happen to them. It's absolute bullshit, dude, and I'm fucking sick and tired of it. And I know for a fact other people are doing this state, dude. And this is why I'm saying we need one county, one rep, dude. Because if we had one county, one rep, Weinstein and Russo would both have their asses tossed out, dude. Because they'd be fucking fighting in primaries with like 10 other people is what it is at that point. For the one seat that exists in Cleveland and for the one seat that exists in Columbus then. And they would never be able to assume power in the state ever again. Which, by the way, neither one of them should even have power at this point because they've committed over 500 fucking misdemeanors in the past 4 years. Every single time that they introduce anti-gun legislation is at least another 2 or 3 at that point. Every time that they introduce anti-life legislation with abortion shit, that's another couple at that point, dude. And they keep doing it every single time, every single fucking year, for every single General Assembly for the past 4 years now. And really, it's almost 5 years now because it was 2019 when they started this shit, dude. So it's like 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, and now in 2023. And you can look at the list of stuff they've done, dude. And they're not the only ones that did it, dude. Either, by the way. You have Democrats all over our General Assembly that are still sitting in it right now who have committed all kinds of shit like that. And it's fucking ridiculous, dude. And we cannot remove them from office because they're not committing felony charges. We cannot citizens arrest them because they haven't committed felony charges. It's absolute bullshit, and exactly why we need recall voting at a state level at this point, dude. They should be thrown the fuck out of office right now. Never allowed to hold it ever again for deprivation of article of law, for breaking their own oath to office that they swore to uphold the Constitution, the Second Amendment of the Constitution specifically. So, anyway. Which then leads us to the following article from Cleveland.com here, which is new group emerges in favor of making it harder to amend Ohio Constitution. Gun rights advocates. Yes, we did. And we will continue to do these things, dude. Anyways, it continues on here. It says, Columbus, Ohio, Republican lawmakers, abortion opponents, and a constitutional rights organization that want to make it harder to amend the Ohio Constitution has added a new group to their coalition that had not yet publicly voiced its support. Gun rights advocates Rob Sexton from Buckeye Firearms testified Wednesday at the Ohio House Committee on behalf of two organizations, Buckeye Firearms Association, an influential gun rights group on Ohio Capitol Hill, and the Sportsmen's Alliance, an organization that defends hunting, fishing, and trapping throughout the U.S., founded in late 1977 in Columbus to defeat the constitutional amendment proposal that would have banned trapping statewide. Huh, interesting. And mind you, this was 8 years before I was born that happened too, by the way. I didn't even realize it was a thing ever. So, I learned something new every day is what it is there. Anyway, it says, Sexton testified alongside anti-abortion... Fuck you people, dude. Testified alongside pro-life activists, a law professor, and a constitutional rights organization in support of the proposal that failed in December. In the waning hours of the two-year legislative season has reemerged this year. So I'm going to point something out on that one, okay? You had these fucking people, these fucking Democrats and these fucking rhinos like Bill Seitz and shit like that, dude, who for over 6 months in the past General Assembly took time off where they could have had their fucking lazy asses in the General Assembly chambers passing things all across the fucking chambers at that point, dude. Instead, they wait until the last 5, 6, 7 days of last General Assembly in December of last year, did a 17-hour thing, and then wanted to bitch and moan about like, oh, this House Joint Resolution 6, we can't pass this to amend the Constitution for a 60% voter threshold at all, because that would totally be taking away people's stuff. And oh, by the way, at the same fucking time, these stupid fucking cunts up in our chambers from Moms Demand Action, etc., are shouting about one voice, one vote. They pulled a mini insurrection act last December, dude. And again, this is something we keep seeing from the fucking left, dude. You know how they're doing this shit? Because every single state house in this country, save a few, are gun-free zones and have been since that fucking scumbag in California decided, oh, a bunch of Black Panthers bringing shotguns into the California State House in the 60s is not okay. So let me go ahead and ban guns in the State House. And then it caught like fucking wildfire is what it was, dude. In the 70s, into the 80s, etc. Specifically, a lot of it caught fire after James Brady's death, which led to the Brady campaign, unfortunately. For those who don't know who James Brady is, he was Reagan's right-hand man, basically, at that point. He was I forget exactly what his role was in the Reagan administration, but he's basically Reagan's dude is what it was at that point. And yeah, I don't think he actually died on the spot that day. I think he was just shot. I believe it was some kind of 22 caliber, like little Raven arms or something like that's what it was, maybe something like that. And then I want to say he was in a coma for a bunch of time, and then eventually I believe he passed away after that is what it was. So, but yeah, either way, that's what led to the actual creation of the Brady campaign, which, by the way, the Brady campaign, for those who don't know, in the past 10 years or so has now been bought out by Michael Bloomberg in every town. So every town basically owns Brady is what it is, dude. And they're consolidating their power is what it is right now. So, anywho, moving on back to what we're talking about here, though. The rest of this, though, Continues on here and says, Republicans in the Ohio House and Senate are considering bills that would require a 60% supermajority at the ballot box. It should be 70%, by the way, or more. Up from the current 50% plus one vote simple majority, which is absolute bullshit, dude. When you can take away the voting rights of half of the state of Ohio because of one fucking jerk off who potentially shouldn't even have voting rights in this state, because you could actually, and that's something I called out Frank LaRose, by the way, on the other day. I don't know if you were going to check into it or not. There's at least 16,000 kids that go to Ohio State right now, dude, who are illegally voting in Ohio's elections right now because they are out-of-state voters voting in our election cycles, dude. How the fuck is that not massive voter fraud, dude? Go back to the 2022 midterms. Look how Allison Russo got reelected in the state house, dude. Look how Casey Weinstein got reelected in the state house. Who were their voter bases at that point? How many of these Ohio State kids voted for their fucking asses, don't have voting rights in the state, dude? Et cetera, et cetera. You know, specifically, I would say, truthfully, with the biggest district of all of them, look into Richard Brown's 100-plus voter win is what it was, dude. How the fuck he was able to win that shit? Who was voting for his ass to get back in the state house over Ronald Beach, dude? Because Ronald Beach should be in the fucking state house right now, dude. He won that fucking race. Brown cheated 100%, dude, to become a third-term state rep right now. And I'm going to say it like it is, dude. Just the same exact way that Sherrod Brown cheated fucking almost 5 years ago now in the 2018 midterms, and he had over 300,000 dead people, illegal voters, etc., that were purged from our fucking voter rolls, had his judge friend the Friday before that Tuesday election cycle put them back on our ballots, dude, and then conveniently won by like 280-something thousand people is what it was, dude, against Jim Renacci. You cannot sit here and honestly tell me there's not voter fraud going on in this country right now, dude. When you can look at shit like that and look at those things, et cetera, from voter rolls and stuff like that, dude, and verifiably prove that shit, and then sit there and say, oh, there's no voter fraud going on in this state or any other state for that matter. Bull fucking shit, there's not. There is 100% voter fraud going on. It's always Democrats, dude. It's gerrymandered by Democrats. It's fucking actual dead people on our voter rolls being purged off and then re-added to them days before the election. It's everything under the fucking sun, dude. It's ballot harvesting. It's all of it, dude. Legitimately. Enough is enough of this shit, dude. And by the way, ballot harvesting is exactly how Ilhan Omar's ass is still in office right now, dude. Because she did that show up in Minnesota is what it was. So anyway, moving on. Going back to the rest of this here. Yeah, it says about the resolution being 60% instead of 50% plus one vote. To pass, so the Senate bill, Joint Resolution 2, would also schedule an August 8th special election for the proposal. If the change were to pass in August, it would scuttle a potential November vote for an abortion rights amendment proposal, which really what they mean is a baby death proposal that also, by the way, 100% is exactly what Michigan passed through last year, which was also a sterilization of children amendment to allow kids to basically, without parental consent, be able to sterilize themselves with gender transitioning surgeries, dude. It is a copy and paste of what Michigan passed last year, dude. Legitimately. And these people want to sit there and act like it's not. These scumbag anti-lifers and stuff like that. Anyway. So the change would have passed in August. Okay, yeah, we're the part of it. Let's see here now. It said abortion rights supporters have prevailed in constitutional amendments in red and purple states in 52% and 59% range. Exactly. So never hit a 60% threshold is what it is, dude. So, but it's still unclear whether state lawmakers who last year voted to eliminate most August elections over concerns about cost and low turnout will put the ballot on the summer. So Ohio Senate President Matt Hoffman is pushing the idea, and Ohio House Speaker and cheater Jason Stevens has softened his position against it. So basically what was going on was in the past week or so, you had Jason Stevens and Matt Hoffman on different sides of the fucking coin on it for Republican stuff here is what it was. Because you had Hoffman that's like, no, we're putting it on there. And you had Stevens who literally had every single fucking Democrat in the Ohio State House, including Casey Weinstein and Allison Russo, should be in prison right now in the state of Ohio. Vote for his ass for speaker, dude. He had to have more Democrats than Republicans get him into office, dude, for speaker. That should tell you everything you know right there, dude. Because the last time that should happen, when was that? Oh, yeah. It was when fucking Larry Householder was elected Speaker of the House, dude. And then since then, you had the bribery scandal go down. So what's Jason Stevens doing right now, dude, when it comes to bribe shit? What's his pay-to-play thing right now that's going to take his ass down at some point in the future? Only time will tell. So, anyways. But yeah, he's basically softened on it and said, no, we kind of want it now. Said some Ohio House Republicans are trying to override Stevens to advance the resolution out of committee and direct it to the House floor for a vote, as it should be, because they should have that power to do that, not Jason Stevens' bitch ass holding everything hostage. So Rob Sexton testified separately for each organization, suggesting that without a change, wealthy interests could pursue new limits on guns in Ohio. Quote, now more than ever, our fundamental right to defend our own lives must be protected, Sexton said, at a time representing the Buckeye Farmers Association. He said that the gun group depends on a part of Ohio Constitution that says, and this is, by the way, Article 4, Section 1 of the Ohio Constitution, the people have the right to bear arms for their defense and safety. There's freedom that wealthy gun control advocates like New York billionaire Michael Bloomberg would most like to target. Ballot issues have become increasingly utilized by wealthy special interests in Ohio and across the country. Anyone remember BM 114 from Oregon, dude? That was literally a Bloomberg and Giffords funded piece of shit that is now being fought in the fucking courts there. That would make permanent purchasing, aka Jim Crow laws, legal in the state of Oregon then, dude. As well as a bunch of other bullshit, too. It's all anti-gun crap. Yeah, that's exactly what Bloomberg and Giffords are doing, dude. They know that they can't win. They know they've already lost the fucking war. So what are they trying to do? They're trying to change the game. They're trying to flip the fucking chessboard over and then reset it to their own bullshit is what it is, dude. They're trying to cheat to win is what it is, dude. Legitimately. Because they know they can't win otherwise is what it is. Same thing with these fucking anti-life abortionist pieces of shit is what it is, dude. Fuck all these people, for real. Anyway. Continuing on here, it said, it says ballot issues have become increasingly utilized by wealthy interests in Ohio and across the country, with their ability to outspend virtually any grassroots coalition of Ohioans, specifically myself is what it is. People like Bloomberg, an organization he finances, are able to rewrite our Constitution, erasing freedoms that the people actually support. Said for the Sportsman's Alliance, Sexton also talked about the importance of protecting the Ohio Constitution from wealthy outsiders. The group has been involved in 29 ballot issues across the country, he said. In 1912, when the current process to amend the Ohio Constitution was created, there wasn't as much money in politics and people weren't as politically divided. People can win a referendum or instituted statute with a simple majority, he said, but the Constitution is a different matter. It must be held to a higher significance and a higher important one. So Democrats on the committee that vetted the bill were skeptical. Let's see, who were the fucking jerk-offs on the state senate there? Bill Montoya, who's any one of these fucking ass clowns, by the way. Where is the resolution? Does it stop big money? Asked Senator Bill Montoya, a Columbus Democrat. There's nothing in this resolution that stops big money from doing anything. Fuck you, Bill, you douchebag. So Sexton acknowledged that the bill does not mention campaign finances directly, but he said a 60% threshold provides a deterrent to most frivolous ballot issues, which, by the way, I'm going to point something out right now. Since this whole thing with abortions hit our ballot and issues and stuff like that, dude, you've now had a second bunch of leftists who are now trying to up minimum wage in the state of Ohio, dude, because they can't get it through otherwise, because they're a bunch of lazy bastards who are low to no education, fucking 20-somethings, 30-somethings, 40-somethings, who work at McDonald's or Burger King or fucking Wendy's, etc., or their voter base does anyway, and want to act like they can have a living wage working at a fucking burger flipping job, dude. You can't, by the way. They're not meant for that. They're meant for literal fucking high school kids to have a part-time job at, to be able to actually learn real work experience and then go on and do something else to actually have a paying job that is going to be a living wage. It's not meant to be a living wage when you're working at fucking McDonald's as a 40-year-old person, dude. Or a 35-year-old person or a 20-year-old person or whatever the hell it is, dude. It's not meant to pay rent and gas and food and everything else like that, dude. It never was. It was never created for that. It was created for people to get work experience, period, and that's it. So, anyway. If you want to do something, go back and get a trade of some kind, dude. We need those people a lot anymore. Anywho. It said, yeah, Sexton acknowledged about the 60% threshold will prevent more frivolous ballot issues. Historically speaking, the reason for the reference to money is because that's just been the deciding factor on the ballot issues that we've been a part of, he said, referencing the Sportsman's Alliance. State Senator and piece of shit scumbag Nikki Antonio, who, by the way, should also be in prison right now for the same shit that Casey Weinstein and Allison Richter should be in prison for when it comes to anti-gun stuff, because she was the primary sponsor of the anti-gun bills in the last couple of General Assemblies. She's also the piece of shit who's trying to do with our state death penalty right now, dude, because she knows she's probably trying underneath it for a deprivation of law is what it is, dude. Had the following to say. Said there's no guarantee that a 60% threshold will stop excessive campaign finance. A group opposed to the Abortion Rights Amendment proposal, which hasn't yet made the ballot because backers just began gathering signatures, announced it will spend $5 million on digital and television campaign ads. By the way, that's the Ohio Right to Life people is what they're talking about there, dude. So Antonio said she doesn't know if the bunny comes from inside or outside Ohio. What does it matter, dude? And like I said before, honestly, the thing that pisses me off about these people with Ohio Right to Life right now, dude, that did this, and it's not just Ohio Right to Life, it's a few pro-life organizations, what it is, dude. If you can spend $5 million on something, here's a wild fucking idea. Get an actual ballot proposal yourselves on the fucking ballot to do away with the abortion shit, dude. And then with that ballot initiative, enshrine a 60% threshold on top of that then. So if it only passes by like 54, 55%, whatever it is, dude, then have that pass as that percentage or whatever, and have it become law into the state constitution then, that it would force through a 6% threshold in any future ballots is what it would be then, for any future ballot initiatives then. On top of being, pro-life and stuff like that, enshrining like actual pro-life stuff into it, dude. And enshrining that, no, kids that are 5 months in the fucking womb should not be murdered in the fucking womb, dude. You should not be able to abort a child at 22 weeks. It's fucking disgusting. You are murdering an innocent baby at that point. And even before that. 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, 9 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, 14, 18, 20, 21, all of it, dude. And like I said, the biggest problem I have with this entire bullshit ballot initiative to begin with, dude, is the fact that you have it being so broadly worded that it's a case-by-case basis, a quote-unquote doctor-by-doctor basis, to where you can have one doctor say, this chick over here is 22 weeks along, baby's not viable. This chick over here is fucking 37 weeks along, baby not viable. And they're murdering actual children for profit is what it is, dude. That's what their end game is. They want to dissect a child and then sell that kid's parts off. Tissue, organs, all of it, dude. It fucking infuriates the shit out of me. I am this close to start crying, dude. Because that's how much emotion it brings out of me. And I feel like there's a lot of people out there that are the same way as I am, dude. Because for a fact these fucking demons, because that's what they are, they're fucking demons, are murdering innocent human life, dude. Anyway. Getting back to the rest of this, though. Where are we at now? See, Antonio continued on and said, I think a lot of people can relate to what you were saying about having to fight for your right to hunt, fish, and trap, because I think there's a lot of people, especially women in the state of Ohio, are feeling right now like their fight to make decisions about their own bodies is on the line. Fuck you, Nikki. It is not their bodies. It is another fucking body inside of theirs, you fucking cunt. But you wouldn't know anything about that, would you, Antonio? Because you are a fucking lesbian. Because you are past the age of actually having children yourself. And that's the big thing, too, by the way. It's not even the lesbian thing either, for that matter. Let's make that a point in fact. I'm going to say that specifically because of the fact that Nikki herself has come out and basically made it about her fucking actual sexuality at this point, dude. About being the first lesbian in the state of Ohio and stuff. Who gives a shit, bitch? Stop playing day politics is what it is. Fuck you, lady. Number one. Number two. You are already past menopause at this point. You are already past the point of ever having kids in your life, even if you were a straight woman, or even if you were even a lesbian woman for that matter that wanted to get pregnant, is what it is, dude. You're already way past that viability. And if you notice that when it comes to people like that, whether it be Antonio or whether it be people like Jane Fonda, who, by the way, should be brought up on charges at this point for killing kids in Nashville as an accessory to that mass murder is what it is, dude. Because of her talking about killing Christians on The View a few weeks ago is what it was. All these bitches are all 60, 70, 80 years old or more, dude. I think Antonio's like in her late 50s or so or something. Maybe early 60s, someplace in there. But that's the thing. They're way past their prime is what it is, dude. And they want to sit there and act like their fucking opinions matter, dude. When they don't. You're not doing anything to your own body. There is a reason that a child that you are carrying in your womb as a woman has its own blood type, has its own tissue. When they do act, this is the thing too, by the way. Early on in the pregnancies, dude, you can do a needle into the actual womb is what it is and check for various stuff with the kid. It'll come out with actual blood types, dude. That's different from the mother. It'll come out with actual tissue on the needle that is different from the mother's. So to sit here and try to tell people that it's women choosing their own body bullshit, fuck you, Nikki Antonio. You are such a fucking piece of shit demon lady. You are everything that is wrong with this country currently, woman. Because you are 100% the fucking problem in this country right now. And the fact that you are the Senate minority leader? What the fuck? There shouldn't even be Democrats in the Ohio State Senate right now, dude, because they are literally all fucking sacks of shit and criminals. From Antonio to Herschel Craig to fucking everybody else for that matter, dude. Every single one of the 7 are a bunch of fucking criminal pieces of shit, dude. So, anyways. Continuing on back. Said Senate Joint Resolution 2 opponent Jane Miller, executive director of the League of Women Voters of Ohio, which is really a leftist organization. They're not even the League of Women Voters at all, dude. They are the leftist League of Women Voters of Ohio. Said after the hearing, the bill is not just about guns or abortion rights, but other issues too. Her organization is part of the coalition of more than 170 groups opposing the change. Yeah, because they want to kill kids in the womb, gender transition children, fucking completely do Satanist shit against the unborn and the born, and completely fuck with our kids and our rights, dude, is what it is. I'm not even going to bother reading her stupid bullshit is what it is here, dude, because she can go fuck herself is what it is. I have no fucking thing about dumbasses like that. They don't deserve the fucking time of day is what it is. If you want to read the rest of that, you can yourself. But then we got, on the flip side of things, I'm actually going to go over a story I talked about last night too, which was that fucker Jameel Bowman, the douchebag that shouted down Tom Massie as a current Democrat congressman. So apparently, Phoenix Ammunition, the people that do their, out of Michigan there, they have their factory there. They actually found this out about Bowman's ass when he was a supposed principal and stuff at this school. The school he was a principal at was almost 2,000 in reading and everything else like that, dude. Any kind of fundamental stuff that these kids should be proficient in and stuff like that, whether it be reading, writing, arithmetic, all that stuff like that. Almost 2,000 in it, dude. And then you got this stupid shit right here. Says Commissioner Bowman founded Counterstone Academy for Social Action, or CASA, a Bronx middle school focused on unlocking the natural brilliance of all children through a holistic curriculum, where he served as a principal at that school. And then, like I said, going on to that, it shows here right there. Reading proficiency, 1,805. Math proficiency, 1,697th. Jesus Christ, buddy. And you want to sit there and talk about being an educator for 20 years, Bowman, you fucking sack of shit? Fuck yourself, dude. Exactly like I said last night. You are everything as a Democrat, sir, that is wrong with this country currently, because all you are is an SJW little fuckstick. You're a fucking bitch who has no actual argument against guns in schools. You have no actual argument against repealing gun-free zones. And then you want to sit there and fuck with people's constitutional rights is what it is, dude. And their right to protect their children in school systems by having armed security, by having a repeal on gun-free zones that Biden and company created back in the 1990s. Because that's what this country is right now, dude. And that's exactly why we're politically dividing so badly. And that's why, honestly, I believe we're heading towards bad times again. You know? Honestly, like, I've seen this shit coming for at least 6 years now, dude. And, like I said, I've been calling this stuff out since Trump's presidency, even before it, actually. You know, a lot of it's what got me federally swatted, honestly, because I called it out for what it was, dude. And it's just a bunch of shit is what it is, man. It's these people that don't actually care about your rights, don't actually care about your fucking kids, because they are childless scumbags themselves is what it is, dude. Because they have made demon deals to get power is what it is. You know, whether it be with Crossroads Demons or somebody else for that matter. Doesn't really matter. And that's all it is for them, dude. They want to hold on to that brass ring of power as long as possible. That's why you got people like Pelosi and Schumer and Feinstein and Waters, etc. And even on the flip side of things, McConnell and Graham and all those other rhinos like that, the neocon motherfuckers that are in power right now. It's why they'll never let go, dude. It's why you got Patrick Leahy, who's in his 90s, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, like 92 to 94, somewhere in there, who is still a sitting U.S. Senator right now, dude. And it's like, why is there not age limits on the fucking position of power in this country, for God's sakes? Leahy's not a bad dude, by the way, when it comes to 2A stuff. Like, he's not the greatest 2A champion ever, obviously, but, like, he's also not a sack of shit sellout like that motherfucker Rob Portman was. But the entire point I'm trying to make is why is there not, this is how old you have to be to run, this is how old you can be before you are automatically retired out, basically. And have it be that, like, 20-ish year window or something, dude. Or nothing else, like, if you're going to hit past that window or something, like, you have to take brain function testing and stuff like that, dude, for your what is it called? Cognition testing, I think is what it actually is, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that's what I'm saying it is. I can't remember I'm pretty sure that's terminology, but I could be wrong about that one. But basically, it's to prove that you're all there, all your faculties are there mentally is what it is, dude. Which obviously Biden's ain't. Neither is Dianne Feinstein. She's dementia as fuck. That's why she's retiring at the end of the year is what it is. Et cetera, et cetera. And this is the entire problem right now, dude. And that's what it should be. It should be anybody over the age of retirement at this point that is currently in Congress should have to take some kind of test like that, man. And I would say it should be a bi-yearly test, honestly. It should be once at least every 6 months anyway, if not once every 3 months for that matter. And prove that, like, yeah, you're not declining. And if you are starting to decline, then guess what? You're forced retired is what it is, dude. And you have a special election held for that Senate seat is what it is, or that U.S. congressional seat, whatever it is then. Or if nothing else, with some of these states, like California, etc., you get rid of entire congressional districts then, dude. There's no fucking reason for California to have over 50 congressional districts right now, dude, in U.S. Congress. When they make up like 1/8 of Congress right now, dude. It's like 1/8 to 1/9, something like that. It's fucking retarded, dude. There is no need for that at all. And then you have states like Wyoming or Montana and stuff like that that have one congressman from them, or Alaska for that matter has one congressman. Fuck that, dude. No. It's absolute bullshit, dude. It should be 5 apiece across the board for every single state. And if people got a problem with that, then go fuck themselves is what it is, dude. They can move the fuck out of America is what it is, for real. So, anyway. I don't think there's much of anything else I want to talk about here. Let's see. Oh, actually, this one's pretty interesting. I think this was the transgender one out of California there. Or another variation of that or something now. This is from Post Millennial here. It says, California moves ahead with the state-sanctioned kidnapping bill that would allow therapists to take children from families without notice or provision. That's fucked up, dude. That is some fucked up shit right there. Legitimately. I'm not the least bit surprised by that one, honestly. But that being said, the fact that we're already like 45 minutes into this episode, I think we're going to stop here, and we might talk about this. I'm going to go ahead and probably save this for the next go around. Maybe do it tomorrow or something. Maybe as its own thing. Go ahead and save that for the time being. Then. Apparently, Maj Turi keeps trying to call out David Hogg for a debate, and David Hogg keeps ducking him as what it is. Honestly, I think it'd be funny as hell to see that debate personally, and see the first question asked about race is what it is, dude, and see which one of those guys is the bigger racist right now. Because as we know, Hogg is definitely a fucking racist, and Maj definitely loves to play the fucking race card, dude, because he's definitely a race hustler, is what it is in the 2A community, dude. I'm willing to call him out on it, dude. Not many are, actually. And I'll call him out on the shit because he's an asshole is what it is, dude. And the reason I say that specifically is because half the shit he posted this week after Nashville was basically race hustling crap is what it is, dude. So, anyways. And then also, like, bitching about, like, mental illness or whatever and, like, not actually addressing mental illness and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. That is what it is. So, anyways. Oh, by the way, that Cuyahoga County Church is supposed to be doing the drag event this weekend is apparently still going ahead right now with that bullshit. So we will talk about that as the last thing right now. Yeah, it says Cuyahoga County Drag Queen Brunch and Story Time still on for Saturday. Instead, this is what the idiot says, instead of calling us out and asking us to cancel, we are asking law enforcement to call out the Proud Boys and others planning to protest this. Community Church of Chesterland pastor Jess Peacock, who should be arrested already for child abuse at this point, claimed that's who you should be demanded to cancel, beat Proud Boys and everybody else like that. Honestly, you know what? And this is my problem right now, dude. If you as the people there in that county, dude, whether it be the county commissioners or whether it be, leaders and stuff like that, or the cops even for that matter, don't provide these assholes security. Fuck them, dude. Tell them straight up, be like, we will not be your personal security as police officers. You want private security? We're not doing it for overtime based on the other taxpayers here that are going to pay for this shit. You want private security here? Pay for it your damn selves, dude, because we ain't going to be here. Go fuck off. And they just let happen what happens, dude, at that point. Because that's what needs to happen, honestly, dude. And my biggest issue is, there was something on the news last night, actually, that was talking about the stuff, and it was like a bunch of, there was like two sides of people, and I'm not sure if this old woman was with the trans side or she was with the actual other people that were against it is what it was. But she was like, oh, why do people have a problem here, whatever the case be, or what's wrong with these people kind of thing, or whatever it is, dude. And the thing of it is like, there's a lot of fucking issues there, man. And the reason that people are sick and tired of it is because they see what it's going to, dude. And apparently this woman didn't see that. So, like I said, I'm not sure if she was on the left side or if she was on the other side is what it was, dude. Like the middle right side is what it was. But the whole point was, these older folks, these different generation of people that are, the silent generation, baby boomer types of stuff like that, they don't understand, just a lot of the times based on the fact that they are old and stuff like that. And they're not all the way there is what it is, brain function wise. The entire point of these events, these drag shows, these fucking, drag queen story hours for kids and stuff like that, is to normalize this fucked up behavior is what it is, dude. So that when it keeps escalating and escalating and escalating to eventually they're abusing your fucking children at these events, nobody says nothing about it, dude. That's what the actual endgame is for these people, dude. They fucking have freely admitted at this point, dude. Half of them have admitted they're Satanists at this point, or more. That's the endgame, dude. And that's what I've said many, many times on this channel. We are fighting a war of good and evil. We are fighting against literal fucking demons, dude. And if people don't see that yet, it's time to wake the fuck up and realize that, dude, very quickly. And choose your side correctly. Because the longer things keep going, and especially after this Nashville attack and everything else that we're seeing that's escalating continuously right now, dude, and you got fucking Biden's dumbass press secretary literally calling for door-to-door confiscation of firearms right now. Shit's about to pop off, dude. Know what side you're fucking on in this whole event, dude. In this potential Second American Civil War. In this potential Second American Revolution. Choose your side wisely, dude, because you're only going to have this one choice. And if you're on the wrong side, good fucking luck, dude. Good fucking luck surviving is what it is, because you're probably not. Just to be clear on that one, again, because of the whole federal swatting thing, I am not advocating for violence against anyone. I am not calling for violence against anyone. I am not openly saying anything against anyone. I'm simply and specifically stating a fact. And that fact of the matter is, things are about to get bad. Don't be on the wrong side of the bad is what it is, dude. Period. I'm trying to save people from getting themselves fucked up is what it is, dude. That's why I've advocated many times, honestly. Don't go to these events. Just don't. They want to do whatever, dude. Fucking don't give them attention to it, dude. Because that's another thing too. There was other people that have called it out here in the last couple of days. Actually, they said all you're doing with that. I think it's actually people like Blair White, if I'm not mistaken, have called the shit out, and they said all you're doing with this stuff when you're protesting this shit is you're giving it more credence and you're allowing it to go on more and more, dude. And who the hell's to say that they wouldn't cancel anyway? You know? And the thing of it is, honestly, if the cops in Cuyahoga County want to do their job right now, they'd be investigating that church at Chesterland right now, dude, for hate hosting itself right now. There was a Molotov supposedly thrown at its front door the other day, which I almost guarantee was one of their fucking people doing that shit. Their supposed sign was vandalized in the past week or so. Probably another thing with them doing themselves, because especially when they said in the news that it was minimal damage, because of course you're not gonna bust up your own shit. You're gonna basically, knock a few, like it's the same thing with like a fake home invasion kind of thing is what it is, dude. Where you would take a fucking chest of drawers or whatever and just toss the contents out on the floor, or whatever the case being, and toss the fucking thing on the floor is what it is then, and be like, oh, I was robbed. It's kind of like that basically. It's not, something where it's going to be like a very small amount of damage for something. It's going to be like, no, if somebody really wants to fuck with your shit, dude, that fucking sign's going to be demolished, dude. It's going to be burned pretty much up in smoke at that point and whatnot. So for them to sit there and be like, oh no, this is totally somebody else. It's like, no, it wasn't, dude. And I guarantee eventually it will be figured out that it actually was these fucking dudes doing to themselves what it was, dude. Because again, they're trying to bring more attention to their own bullshit and then act like they're the victims. In order to do so, are victimizing themselves. It's the exact, going full circle back, the exact same fucking bullshit that Casey Weinstein did 3.5 years ago, dude. When he hate-hooked himself a month after I was fairly swatted. When he printed tyrant memes off of his fucking computer, threw him in his mailbox, found them in his mailbox the next day, went on fucking national TV locally here, on the mainstream media news and local stations, stuff like ABC, NBC, etc. there. And we're like, people are trying to kill me. And then literally a couple days later, I think it was that Wednesday or Thursday, and this is, by the way, you actually have a digital trail of this shit, dude. If feds actually want to do their job right now, there is a digital trail out there of this fucking cocksucker, Casey Weinstein, literally selling the printer that he did that shit with on a fucking Facebook buy-sell trade site that same week. And it's like, why was there not an investigation open on this fucking ass clown, dude? Why is this dude still a sitting state rep after all this? It's insane. It really is. And people wonder why I'm pissed off about this shit, dude. It's because this guy's an actual fucking criminal sitting in the Ohio General Assembly. And it's not like it's just one-time criminal either. It's a pattern of escalation for every other misdemeanor he's committed since then. And it's like, Jesus Christ, people. Go investigate that fucker and arrest him already. And do your jobs. And it's as simple as that, really. Do actual law and order in this country. Don't have it be some biased bullshit where nobody's above where you got Democrats saying nobody's above the law, but then they themselves are above the fucking law is what it is, dude. Actually have a judicial system that works on both sides is what it is, man. Not just fucking targeting Republican people or right-wing or center people at that point. Holding prisoners in prison for fucking years of their lives for nothing. For walking into a fucking U.S. Capitol building. And then you have actual state reps doing hate-hoaxing themselves and getting nothing, dude. It's insane. And it drives me and other people fucking nuts, dude. And we have every right to say that because it's fucking insane, dude. It's fucking infuriating as hell is what it is. So, anyways. But yeah, to finish off this episode, actually, this is the thing I was talking about with the Andy No update right here, where it was the people talking about they're not doing that whole thing at SCOTUS there because of their safety and shit like that, was just an absolute lie, dude. They're not doing it because people keep calling them out is what it is, dude, and being like, why are you trying to do this? What's the point you're trying to prove, dude? And it's a bunch of nutcases, dude, is what it is. And that's the thing. If we were a justifiable society right now, dude, you would have state hospitals again. You would have actual people getting the mental help that they need right now. And most of those people are on the left that need that help. You know, there's a few other places and various political spectrums and stuff, but most of them are just the same leftist people, dude. It's the same kind of fucking nuts that'll walk into a Christian school and open fire on a bunch of children. And a janitor and a couple fucking teachers / dean of the school is what it is, dude. Because they're not right in the fucking head. And that's what it really is, dude. It's people who just don't get it. And then people want to sit there and be like, oh, was this a domestic terrorist attack or was it a fucking hate hoax or hate crime or what it was? It was both. It was a domestic terrorist event that was also a hate crime, dude. Because now there's talk coming out that this fucking asshole that did that shit supposedly went after the kid that was one of the kids that was killed there, that was the daughter of the pastor and stuff like that. It was potentially her being targeted because her father tried to counsel this person in the past, dude. That's how fucked up our society is right now, dude. And like I said, it mentally exhausts you. It really does. And I feel like that's where a lot of us are at right now, dude. We're just sick and tired of all of it, man. Honestly, if I could jump in a time machine right now and jump back to 1950s or so, 60s, maybe 70s, I would. Maybe I could actually change things in the past, make it better for the future is what it is, dude. But then again, it could also be one of those situations where it's like that Way Home series where it's basically just a linear timeline where nothing actually changes and you're just basically reliving all your shit again in a different time period or whatever. So, I don't know. It's hard to say. But either way, it's definitely a situation where I just want America to be a sane nation again, dude. And I think, unfortunately, until something happens here and a lot of things change, nothing's ever going to change, if that makes any sense. Obviously, I'm trying to be cryptic about things, obviously, unfortunately, because of, you know, what have you. But it really is just infuriating. And it seems like nobody's doing their job because, again, they're paid not to, basically. But yet they're perfectly okay with targeting you, you know, for nothing, over fucking thought crimes. So, anyways, that's pretty much where we're at for the day. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you all in the next one.